All right, so I'm going to give you multiple reasons as to why Adam Cole should go to AEW as opposed to re-signing with WWE. There's been a lot of discussion about where he's going to go. He has friends in AEW and WWE, his girlfriend's in AEW. What is going to be better for his future? Now, I'm not Adam Cole. I don't really know what his goals are long term, but I'm going to assume his goals are to become a big star because everybody wants that. And some would say he already is a big star. Could he become a bigger star? I'm going to give you reasons as to why Adam Cole should actually sign with AEW. Now, I don't think if he does sign, he should debut anytime in the next couple of months because Punk and Bryan are already coming in, and you really don't want to bring in too many guys at once because if you bring in a lot of top guys at once, it's going to dilute the roster. So you want to kind of sprinkle them in little by little. You know what I'm saying? Maybe have Punk in August, Bryan in September, maybe Cole in October or November. That way it gives Punk and Bryan time to have a lot of TV time and then have the other talents kind of work their way up. So why should Adam Cole sign? Well, first of all, it's become apparent that Vince McMahon has given up on NXT. And it's not even a situation where now he's giving up on it. It's pretty obvious that almost everybody that comes up from NXT ends up getting poorly mismanaged on the main roster. Adam Cole's a smaller guy. He's not a giant. He's probably not going to get a push on the main roster the way that he deserves. He's a great talker, but he'll be probably completely overly scripted. He is a great worker, but he'll be probably told to tone it down. His size will go against what Vince McMahon has wanted for years. And much like other talents, even guys like Keith Lee, who has charisma, who is a big guy, who is a great worker, even he gets his balls cut off and made into a random fat guy, even though that's not what he is at all. Adam Cole needs to look at that and look at how WWE treats the NXT roster and the guys who have come up from NXT and maybe think twice about signing with WWE. Because honestly, man, I remember years and years ago when somebody would come up from NXT, like a Seth Rollins or well, he came up with the Shield, but like Bray Wyatt, like guys from that era, they would come up and they would be protected. I mean, the Shield was very protected from developmental. You know, you had talents that were coming up and being treated like this is the new fresh faces, and not anymore. Now they come up, they get a push for a while, Vince gives up on them or repackages them, and it's an endless, cycle of guys losing their, I guess, their morale, and it really beats it out of them. I mean, look at all the guys who have come up and just become a joke, and so I think Adam Cole, if his hope is to be a main roster star, then I don't know. I mean, he can always make more money on the main roster, but at the cost of what? Maybe hurting your credibility outside of WWE? Is it worth it? Also, when it comes to him staying in NXT, because some people are going to say, well, he can stay in NXT. True, he can, but why? Adam Cole has already done everything he needs to do in NXT. He's done everything. He's headlined takeovers. He's wrestled all the top talent in NXT. He was even a part of that invasion angle they did in 2019 on the main roster, with the NXT, SmackDown, and Raw guys in the three-way feud. I don't think that's a good idea. I think he could stay in NXT and work with the younger talent and just be a top guy there. But again, look how they treated guys like, Karrion Kross. Look how they treated, like they pulled Finn Balor off of NXT to come back to SmackDown because they wanted more talent on there, and they're protecting him. But he also was kind of one of those guys from that era that was protected, And even guys from that era, look what happened to Bray Wyatt. They just didn't know what to do with him. You know what I mean? So Adam Cole is very talented. I think he's 32 years old. He's a young guy. He still has time in the business. If he does go to AEW and elevates his stock in wrestling and elevates his star power, then maybe years down the road, if he chooses to go back to WWE, if that's what he wants to do, right? It's up to him. Then maybe he can go back for a much bigger deal on the main roster because he would have made himself a star. But when you think about Adam Cole in NXT, like, yeah, he'll have good matches, but But guess what? He'll also have good matches and good opponents and fresh opponents in AEW. Think about guys like Cole and also guys like Gargano and Ciampa. These guys have been in NXT forever and they're pretty much lifers, and they've also plateaued. They've done everything they can do in that company. They've won all the titles. They've had feuds with everybody. They've done tag teams. Like Adam Cole and Undisputed were like on top of NXT for a while. Like he's done everything he needs to do, and he does connect with the audience and has charisma. That Bebe thing works, and I don't think WWE really values this guy as much as they should. Because if they did, they probably wouldn't have like forgotten about his contract or whatever the case may be. And I think that the issue now is that people are saying to keep him in NXT, to keep him away from Vince, but that's not what NXT is about. The purpose of NXT is not to be a lifer there and not to work there, especially now that they're on Tuesdays. You know, they're not even competing with AEW anymore. They're not even getting any promotion anymore. Now, the goal of NXT is to elevate or to cultivate talent to eventually go to the main roster, which is the original goal of NXT. It was like a developmental league. So I feel like that's another reason for him to go to AEW. Plus, Adam Cole does Twitch. And if he goes to the main roster, per WWE's really stupid rule, he has to get rid of his Twitch or his YouTube. And to me, it's just not any freedom, dude. Like it takes the fun away from it when Tony Khan is passing out big money contracts. Why would you not go to AEW, keep your Twitch, you can make extra money doing that and have fun and possibly risk having his credibility hurt by being in the hands of Vince McMahon? And I hate to say that because 20, 25 years ago, if you were in Vince's hands, it would be the opposite. Especially in the 80s, Vince McMahon took stars and in many ways made them bigger stars, you know? And now it's just become a thing where it's like who really gets over? I mean, they got Goldberg headlining. Well, he's not main eventing, but he's going up against Bobby Lashley. Goldberg, bro. It's like they bring this guy back when they need him to fill in as a title contender, and then he just loses and just goes away again. Like, it's really dumb, bro. Goldberg, bro. Like, wild. So I think AEW is a younger roster, which fits Adam Cole better. Yes, his girlfriend is there, which may or may not matter because Selena Vega is married to Aleister Black and they're in different companies. But also, there's a much bigger upside. And yeah, right now might not be the time because of Punk and Bryan coming in, but who's to say that in November or December, when Punk and Bryan have already been acclimated to the main roster, you couldn't bring in Adam Cole to even feud with Punk or Bryan or Kenny Omega or Jungle Boy or Luchasaurus or any of these guys. Like, you could do that. Christian could have matches with Adam Cole. Like, that'd be some good promos too. Like, there's a lot of stuff they could do, dude. A lot of stuff they can do. And I think for Cole, AEW is where he should go. That's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. Leave a like. Talk to you soon.